Act 2, Chapter 1. One of the hellfarts got a job selling concessions a few days later. His name was Corey. All the girls our age liked him except for me. Maddie and Samantha laughed at everything he said, even though nothing he said was funny. I need the money to get shocks for my bike, Corey told everyone when he first started. This is the only place in town that will hire kids our age. It was like he had to make sure we knew he was too cool for this job. Corey had connections, according to Maddie. His dad knows everyone, she said. When Corey walked by, I made sounds like he was farting with every step. I did it when he was too far away to hear. Every time I did it, I kept a straight face and Leo would turn red from trying not to laugh. Leo thought I was funny, like it was one of my main characteristics. It felt great. It also felt great when Gary got mad at Corey for not wearing his peasant hat during part of his first shift. You're in England, he told Corey. One more stunt like that and I'll fire you. I guess Corey's dad doesn't know Gary, I said to Samantha, and she laughed too. So maybe more than one person thought I was funny. Chapter 2. Leo and I were verting past the concession stand when he stopped all of a sudden and grabbed my arm. Look, he said, right over there, Daniel Alexander. Daniel Alexander was the man who had founded the Summerlost festival almost 50 years ago. He knew everything about the festival and was still involved with running it. Every now and then he came across the courtyard, and if you were close enough to say hi to him, he would always say hi back. To anyone, even though he was famous, he actually reminded me of Leo, the way his face lit up. Leo had said hi to Daniel Alexander 5 times. I had said hi to him 0 times. This way, Leo said. Today's the day. The day I finally talked to him, I said, or the day you ask if you can interview him about Lisette Chamberlain. The day you talked to him, Leo said. I can't believe you're such a chicken about this, I told Leo. It's almost like you're scared of him. Oh, I'm definitely scared of him. But he's nice. Exactly, Leo said. It's worse when nice people get mad at you. And he'll be mad if he finds out I'm giving a tour about his friend. But he could probably tell you so much. Shut up, Leo said. He's right there. And he was. Daniel Alexander had stopped near us to look at the signboard with the day's Summerlost Festival activities on it. I could already see people around the courtyard turning his way, preparing to swarm. Now was our chance. Hi, I said, and I must have said it loud because Daniel Alexander jumped when he turned around, and his purple drink went all over my skirt and blouse. Oh no, he said, I'm so sorry. Is that wine, Leo asked? That made Daniel Alexander laugh, his wonderful laugh, and more people looked in our direction, including Corey the hellfart, including Gary. Oh no. Heavens no, Daniel Alexander said. It's my special health drink. I have it every morning. Tastes awful, but it's supposed to keep me young. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a handkerchief and handed it to me. But I'm afraid the berries in it probably stained terribly, he blinked. Well, nothing to worry about, my dear. You go down to the costume shop and they'll fix you right up. Ask for Meg. I hesitated. Hadn't Gary said something about making sure to stay on Meg's good side? And wouldn't my showing up in a stained costume be a bad thing? Out of the corner of my eye, I saw Gary moving our way. I could let Gary get mad at me or take my chances with the unknown. Go, Leo whispered. Chapter 3. This will be our last chapter today. The stairwell down to the costume shop smelled old, like my dad's elementary school, which he showed us once when we went to Portland. The floor at the bottom was speckly linoleum. The ceiling felt low and the lights hummed. I walked past doors that said wigs and makeup and kept on going toward the end of the hall and the sign that said costumes. Every sound I made seemed to echo. I tried to make sure my sandals didn't squish or slap. When I got to the costume shop doorway, no one looked up, so I stood looking in. Rows and rows of clothes on racks all around the room, shelves at the back, sewing machines and ironing boards and long tables with chairs, a mini fridge near the door, 4 or 5 college-age women and men moving around doing different things. One woman sitting at a computer in the corner, and an older Asian lady with short white hair sitting at one of the tables using a tape measure. She had glasses on and a chain around her neck, and she wore a black apron over her blouse and pants. She was the one who looked up first. Can I help you? I'm looking for Meg, I said. That's me. Daniel Alexander said to come see you, I said, about my costume. He spilled his drink on it. Of course he did, Meg said. Wait here, I'll find you something to wear. She came back out with an outfit that was completely different from the white peasant blouses and patterned floral skirts. It was a deep green dress with a full skirt and ribbons woven through it. You can tell Gary he'll have to live with it for today, she said. I don't have any concession costumes left in your size. This was from the children's act in the Green Show years ago. Okay, I said, thank you. Come back tomorrow and I'll have the other one washed for you. I don't want you taking it home and doing it wrong and getting the stain set in for good. Okay, I said again. I resisted the urge to spin around and see what the skirt would do. The dress felt old, but it didn't smell that way. And then I had an interesting thought. If Meg had been making costumes for so many years, Maybe she knew Lisette Chamberlain. You're a Lee, aren't you? Meg said. Ralph and Naomi Carter are your grandparents? Yes, I felt surprised even though I shouldn't. My grandparents had lived in Iron Creek for years, and my mom grew up here, and the town wasn't that big. I heard you bought a house here, she said. I nodded. The old Wainwright house. Ah, she said. That's a house with some skeletons. I must have looked taken aback because Meg said, I didn't mean that literally. It's a nice house, and I bet your mom is doing a lot of work fixing it up. She is, I said. She's building a deck. Good for her, Meg said. What's your name? Cedar. And you're working for Gary? Yes. We could use someone to help out in the costume shop, too. Meg gestured around her at the shop. The people working in it. We've got a lot of extra projects this summer, but we've already hired everyone we have the budget to hire. I don't imagine you're a juvenile delinquent who needs community service hours. No, I didn't think so, she said. Bring that dress back tomorrow.